Hello and welcome to our BEP Vendor Registration Training. My name is Derek Reese, Procurement Training Specialist for CPOGS, and we can go ahead and begin. If you notice on this page, we are at our BidBuy, we are in a training environment, we are on a BidBuy homepage. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go up to this top part right here and click register on this blue button right there. All right. So once we click that, we see we have some information to enter right here. So I want to go ahead and enter in my tax ID number, our company name, and then our email address, and then where we're from. Okay. The initial email on this registration page will need to be someone who will be monitoring your account. This will be the only email where the notification of procurement opportunities will be sent that match the NIGP codes you may select. Okay. So once this first registration page is completed, the business should receive an initial registration vendor email with their vendor number. Okay, so I'm going to hit register, and then the business should receive an email that looks like this with their vendor number. Okay, company name and other information. All right, we can go back to our main page. Okay. We are going to be completing these tabs at the top from left to right, starting with the company information, all the way over to submitting our registration on the summary tab. Okay. All fields with an asterisk are required fields. And if you forget to enter in something that is a required field, the system will remind you. Okay. Um, Also, we want your vendor legal name as your company name. Okay, this should not be a doing business as label here. All right, so let's go ahead and enter our information. The rest of our information will go with 23 MJ Lane, our city of Chicago, do our zip code, our state of Illinois. And then I'm going to leave that part blank right there for now, okay? Just to show you something. So we'll go ahead and click Save and Continue Registration. And if you notice, the system reminded me, please enter a valid phone number, okay? So we'll select OK. We'll enter in our phone number, okay? And then in this section right here, you add an EIN number or social security number, whichever is appropriate. For example, if you are a sole proprietor, you use a social security number. Okay. Alrighty. So at this time, I believe all our information is entered, and we can go ahead and save and continue our registration. All right, and if you notice, they moved us over to the next tab, which is the administrator tab. Okay. Um, we can go ahead and start entering our information in this section also. Title CEO. Our email, we'll go with the XZ. ZYX. Okay, and then we're going to enter our phone number. Okay, and our login ID. At our login ID here, you can enter a login ID. We do suggest using your email address as your login ID also for easy memory. Okay. Login question. What's your favorite food? We'll rock with tacos today. Okay. Now, in this section, there will be two user roles, seller and seller administrator. Okay. Seller administrator maintains the account, adding users, etc. Seller will handle more of the day-to-day operations which they can be the same person. Okay. Looks like we have all our required information entered here. So we'll go ahead and save and continue our registration. And it moves us over to the address tab. And our address tab is already entered as we did earlier today. Okay. So we can move over to our next tab, which is the terms tab. And a note to mention, the terms tab is not required for registration. Shipping methods and terms will be part of the contract or the purchase order, so you can ignore this tab, okay? So let's go ahead and go over to our categories and certifications tab. Okay, in the categories and certifications tab, some fields are required and some aren't, okay? The first action, which is the federal tax classification, is required. So we're going to select which one we are. We're under a corporation, okay? With that being said, the middle section, this portion, and some of these other ones right here, and these right here, the state does not require you to do so, okay? However, as we scroll down, but it is optional if you decide, as we scroll down, if you would like more information on BEP or any of the other programs, you can visit these links that are provided right here off to the right hand side, okay? So we'll keep on scrolling down, and just to mention, so if you notice as we get further down, some of these fields will not be able to be completed. And the reason being is BidBuy interfaces on a nightly basis. So you can check that next day to see if your company's BEP certification information has auto-populated on the nightly reboot. Okay, and like we were saying, so this last action right here, this is required. We want to make sure we certify our information is correct. So I've certified the information is correct, and then we can go ahead and save and continue our registration. Okay, it moved us right along to our commodity and service codes. All right, this is very important, because these NIGP codes will be the codes you will be notified of procurement opportunities. You select everything you would like to be notified about, and you have the opportunity to update these codes in your profile later also, and I'll show you that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and select our NIGP class, which ours is 800, shoes and boots. And then we can scroll down and we'll select the codes that best suit our business. So we'll go ahead and select a couple of these NIGP codes right here that we feel best suits our business, okay? All right. And that should be okay right there. All right. So then we'll go ahead and save and continue our registration. And then it moved us right along to our summary tab. Okay. So after we are completed and we've entered in all our information, we have the opportunity to submit our registration. This is very important to remember also. The seller administrator will receive a temporary password that you will be required to change, okay? So after we submit this, you're going to get, the seller administrator is going to get that email, okay? So we submitted our registration. And if you notice right here, it says, thanks for registering with Illinois Train. A registration confirmation will be emailed to you for questions or comments. And it gives a number if you have questions or comments. So after you submitted your registration, we'll go ahead and show you what the email you should get. Okay, this is an example of the email that you will receive with that password that will have to be, that temporary password that will have to be changed. Okay, alrighty, let's go ahead and go back to our page. And now we can go ahead and click OK. And if you notice, it takes us right back to our BidBuy homepage. So let's say we have already completed our registration. Now it is time for us to go ahead and log in. Okay, that's what we want to do right now. We're going to go ahead and go up to the right hand side up here. and we are going to enter in our login information. So our login ID and our password. Okay, if you happen to forget your login ID or password, you can utilize this login assistance and the system will send you a temporary password. Okay, so let's go ahead and sign in. Alrighty. So the first thing, this is us within this system now. The first thing I would like to show you is over here in my account. If you did need to switch over your user roles to, right now we are in seller administration, but if you wanted to switch over to seller, it is just that easy. They're both right here within this section right here. Okay, so you just select which one you would like to have. Okay, and just as a quick reminder, seller administrator maintains the account, adding users, etc. Seller will handle more of the day-to-day operations, which, and again, they can be the same person. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to maintain our organization information right here. Okay, this section we can go in and, like we were saying before, we can go over to maintain our commodity codes. It allows you to add or remove commodity codes. Okay, so let's go in and maintain our commodity codes. If you wanted to add a commodity code, you would go ahead and go down and click the add additional codes at the bottom. You would want to select your NIGP class at the top right here, which ours was 800 shoes and boots. Okay. After that, then you would choose the new codes you would like to add. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add this 800-08. We'll click save. And there goes our new code right there that we added. It's right at the top. Now let's say you wanted to deactivate that code that you just had, that you just selected. So we'll go ahead and go to our box on the side. We'll select that code and we will deactivate selected items. And if you noticed, it removed it. And that code that we just added is now deactivated. Okay. So now let's go back to our home page. And then we can go ahead and check out our add users on this account. This section allows you to add or remove vendor users on your account. Okay, you would just fill in your information as you would need be, select their roles, and then you can save and exit. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and also go back to our home page right here to let you know that if you scroll down on our BidBuy main homepage, you can contact, if you have any questions, you can contact the vendor BidBuy help desk right here. The information is right here on the bottom of the main page if you have any questions. At this particular time, this completes our BEP vendor training. I really appreciate you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.